everyone, welcome to another practice with Laura and Jenny of Coda Yoga Studio. Really excited for a nice invigorate practice today. We're just going to plan on having a good, clean, all-around hip opening flow. So what I like to lovingly call the greatest hits of yoga. So specifically targeting some external rotation of the hip, going for really nice, efficient, and possibly deeper hip mobility. So some classic movements will work some flow, some slow, clean standing work, and a little differently today, a lot of seated postures at the end, preparing you for efficient and safe external rotation of the hip, specifically how to move the hip joint in healthy patterns to make the movement more accessible. A couple blocks are always recommended, and a strap is a really great option because we're going to be doing some binding. So go ahead and make your space, grab your props, and if you'd like to start your music, you are more than welcome to go ahead and do that. And when you're ready, come on down to your back and we'll begin there. And then what I would like you to do is just to start softly this morning by either taking the knees bent, feet a little bit wider, knees drop together. And those of you who have a little more space and would like to take Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees out wide, colloquially known as butterfly pose, you are welcome to take that as well. Begin that sense of hip opening right away. And then let yourself relax here for just a few moments. Let the eyes soften. Let the brow unfurrow. Relax the muscles around the nose and the jaw. Let the shoulders drop into the ground. Allow yourself just some free-flowing breath. Take just another moment here to turn inward from the outermost layers of your attention into inner layers of breath and mind. Take the hands, close up the knees, bring the feet out wide. Stretch the arms straight up toward the ceiling. Catch a hold on the opposite elbow, so we call wash rag. And from here, let your arms stretch over to your right. Let your knees drop asymmetrically to your left. Keep holding onto the elbows, bring everything up to center. Take your arms, pull to the left, knees drop to the right. And inhale, everything pulls back up to center. Again, arms pull to the right, knees to the left. Inhale, back and up to center. And exhale, knees to the right, arms to the left. And inhale, slowly come back up to center. Arms to the right, knees to the left, little deeper here. Inhale, back up. And then arms to the left, knees to the right. Inhale up to center. And release your hands. Draw the right knee into your chest. And just hold on to the shin bone. What I'd like you to focus on here is to squeeze intentionally your heel down in toward your right glute. Hug it in. Keep that hug. Take the right hand on the knee, your left hand on your right ankle, and gently encourage your right knee open to the right wall, squeezing the heel in. As you do that, cross the right foot on your left thigh, and you might notice, since you're hugged the foot in, that it's a little bit lower down your left thigh toward the hip crease. Draw the left foot up off of the ground. Cross your right hand to your left knee so you're in a variation of figure 4 on your back. Left arm can either just stay out at your side or can hold on to your crossed right foot. Keep the right hand reaching diagonally and hug in a little more. Get a nice deep outer hip stretch. And gently place the left foot back onto the earth. Catch a hold onto the outer edge of your right foot with your right hand. Open into half happy baby pose. And take the right foot, start to straighten it out toward your right side, keeping your left knee bent. Open your left hip like half butterfly pose. And then bring the left knee back up, draw the right knee into your chest, and set the feet on the floor. Left knee comes into the ribs, catch a hold. Now intentionally squeeze the heel in toward the glutes. Take the left hand on the knee, right hand on the ankle, and encourage the left knee open with your left hand. Cross the foot on your right thigh, maybe a little closer to the hip crease. Don't stress the knee to do this. Just keep squeezing the calf muscle to your thigh. And then draw your right knee in to help bring in your figure four. Reach your left hand across to find the right knee. And then your right hand can simply lay down on the ground or hold onto your crossed foot. And take just a moment here. Variation on our figure four. And then release the right foot onto the earth. Hold your left outer foot with your left hand open to half happy baby pose. Stretch the left leg out long and out wide to your left. Open your right bent knee out to a half butterfly. Another breath here. Draw the right knee back up. Bend the left knee and place the feet on the floor. Take a full-bodied stretch, arms long, legs long. Knees come into the chest. Rock and roll up to seated. Set the right shin bone in front of your left. Extend the arms forward and just let yourself drop into a Sukhasana forward fold. Just gentle, easy seated forward fold. Now you can extend all the way forward onto your fingertips or palms. If that's too much, pick up your head, lift the shoulders a little bit, act like the arms are almost in a downward facing dog position as I'm demonstrating. And go ahead and crawl it off to your right now, extending your arms over the right knee. Stretch your left arm out a little bit further than your right. And pull your left hip away from your left shoulder. And then inhale and sit up, but hold your twist to your right. Left hand to your right knee, right arm sweeps behind you, fingertips to the floor. Good. Press into the ground, lift to the top of the head, hold onto your knee very lightly and let your spine turn. Take the right arm and reach it back, parallel alongside your mat, spin the thumb down, and then wrap the hand behind your back, half bind in your seated twist. Now a little bit differently, usually our gaze is over our right shoulder in our seated twisting. This is going to foreshadow a little bit for what we're going to do later. I'd like you just to turn your chin over your left shoulder, and you're going to gaze down toward your front feet. And then just relax the gaze down like you're looking over the toes. Unwind, go back to center, lift the arms overhead. Hands to heart center. Forward fold, come forward. Now if you haven't already, go ahead and swap, bring your left shin bone forward in front of your right foot, just to change it up. Crawl it off to your left side, fold over your left knee. Stay to your left, start to lift up to seated, right hand onto the knee, left arm swim strokes back behind you, fingertips come to the floor, press away the earth, lift up tall, take a twist. Hold there, start to extend the left arm back, parallel to the side of the mat, spin the thumb, half bind, wrap it behind you. Now as you wrap that hand behind you, continue to turn the chest open to your left, but then take your chin over your right shoulder and look down at the opposite knee. And unwind. Start to come back to center. Lift the arms overhead. Big inhale. Hands through heart center. Lean forward. Come into table pose. Preparing for some cat-cow. Moving into the spine a little bit. You can tuck or untuck the toes. Plant the hands. Take an inhale. Arch the back. Lift and lengthen your gaze. Exhale. Cat back round. Push away the floor. Strong inhale. Lift and lengthen. Pull the chest forward. Exhale, round your back, drop the gaze. Inhale, one more time, lift and lengthen, nice and strong. And exhale, navel in, push, push, push the floor away. Come to neutral. Stretch your left leg out to your left side, line it up with your hip. Tuck the right toes under, sit the hips back like a child's pose. Let the chest drop down, or again, if it's a little bit too much, keep the chest lifted, stretch the arms just like a down dog. Inhale, rock back forward. Keep the left leg as it is. Take the right fingertips behind the back of the head. Keep the elbow bent, turn and send your chest open to the right. Exhale, close elbow to elbow. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbow to elbow. Now inhale and open. Straighten the right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle, right arm under your left. Reach toward your extended left leg. Send your left arm forward alongside the left ear, just as you would do in any big side bend. As you push down into the back of your right hand, spin your chest open just a little more. Look underneath the right arm. Walk left hand back, unwind, send your right arm back open into a twist. Exhale and return. Step the left foot back in next to your right and extend the right leg out to your right side. Align it with your right hip. Tuck the left toes and sit the hips back like a child's pose. Extend the arms to any degree that feels good. And just take a moment here to find an opening through the right inner thigh and through the bottom of the left foot. Inhale, shift back forward. Take left fingertips behind the head. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, elbow to elbow, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Keep your right leg active. Inhale, open again. Send your left arm straight up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, left under right. Come on down to the left cheek and temple. Outstretch your right arm. Press into the earth. Twist the spine open. Couple deep breaths. Walk the hands back. Open your left arm back up to the ceiling. Twist to the left. Exhale, circle the hand down. Step it back through table. Take one round of cow pose, arch the back, send your gaze forward. Keep toes tucked, drive the hips back, downward facing dog, and stretch out the legs evenly. Now slow pedaling through the feet, shifting weight left and right, but maybe after the first round or two, each time you bend the knee, stay there for just a moment. Stretch through the back of the heel, stretch through the back of the calf. Right, stay for a breath or two and then switch. Just to take it a little bit slower. And stretch the right leg up and into the air, one-legged dog. Open the hip and bend your right knee. Feel free to roll into the ankle or point and flex the foot for just a moment. Turn your chest, turn your hips open to the right a little bit more. And exhale, take the right foot, step it forward in between your hands to lunge. Lower the left knee to the floor. Please feel free to pad up underneath the knee. Lift up into low lunge. Take a moment. Turn the palms to face one another. Ribs in. Left hip point forward and up. Big stretch through the fingertips. Hands to the floor. A little differently here. Spin your left foot all the way to the right, like you're going to set up in Warrior Two, but on your knees. And then windmill all the way up into a kneeling warrior two. Right leg is forward. Left leg is your kickstand leg. Now dropping into your right heel, start to sink forward into the right hip. Reach over the right knee. It's okay if it comes forward of the ankle. Pull back up. And inhale, reach forward. Exhale, up. Inhale, reach forward. Place the right hand down to the inside of the right ankle. Open the left arm straight up. Kneeling side angle pose. Circle the left hand down. Straighten your left leg back out so you're back in a lunge. Straighten the right leg. Pull the hips back into a half splits. As you curl the toes back toward the chest, send your heart and your abdomen forward. Bend back into the knee. Plant your hands, step lightly back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Just again, another round or two of breath here. Inhale, stretch the left leg high. Open the hip and bend your knee. Take a moment here. As you explore range of motion in the hip or where you feel the stretch, also explore turning the hips open a little bit, turning the chest open. Just notice how that feels. Take the left foot and step it through in between your hands to lunge. Lower the right knee, pat it up, and inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Low lunge. Good. Lift up through the upper arm, lift up through the lower arm, and lift up through the fingertips. Hands to the floor, kickstand your right foot to your left, setting up for a kneeling warrior two, windmill all the way up. Go ahead. Take a second here just to find your balance. And as you inhale, sink into the left hip, reach forward. And exhale, squeeze the inner thigh to lift up. Inhale forward. Exhale up. Inhale forward. Left hand down to the inside, right arm reaches straight up to the sky. Kneeling side angle pose. Circle the right hand down, stretch the right leg back, pull back, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Moment or two here just to stretch the back of your left leg. Couple deep rounds of breath. Bend back into the left knee. Step it on back to down dog, nice and light. Stretch up to the tiptoes and roll the body through plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, open your heart. And exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch the right leg into the air. Step the foot through, find your lunge. Drop the left knee and inhale up into low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Hips can come forward just a little bit, stretch the front thigh. Hands to the floor inside of the right foot. Turn it off to Skandasana or side lunge pose. Bend your left knee, open your left hip. Crawl back forward to the top of your yoga mat. Plant your hands. Lizard pose, walk the right foot a little wider. And then keep that there as you step it into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Downward facing, exhale. Good. Big inhale, big exhale. Stretch the left leg into the air. Exhale, step the left foot through. Lower the right knee. Inhale up into low lunge. Arms lift, legs are strong. Front of the hip is opening. Hands come down to the inside of your left foot. Lift your back knee, turn it off, Skandasana, side lunge, sometimes known as skater's lunge. And take Skandasana back forward into your lunge. Walk your left foot a little wider, plant your hands. Draw the navel in, push away the floor. right into chaturanga. Inhale, tone your thighs, push into the tops of the feet. Down dog, exhale. We're going to take another variation of this that will be familiar, but just add on a little bit. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through to lunge. Keep your back knee lifted. Take a moment in your lunge, find your balance, and rise to crescent pose. Arms are going to extend. Feel just the weight of the body evenly between front and back. We're going to take sort of our true skater pose here. Straighten the right leg, spin your back heel down like warrior two. Bend into your left knee and open your arms out wide. So hips are high, shoulders are a little higher than hips. Good. Hands come to the earth. Crawl back into your lunge pose. Walk the right foot a little wider. Plant your left hand and twist your right arm. Revolve lunge. Spin the thumb and wrap the hand behind your back. A little half bind here in your twist. Turn your chest open. Exhale, hand to the floor. Step it back, low chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Down dog, exhale. Good. Inhale, stretch left leg. Place the foot forward. Keep the back knee lifted and rise. Push away the ground, crescent pose. Big breath in. Good, nice. Straighten the front leg, spin the back heel, turn the toes out. Skater pose. Shoulders a little higher than hips. Hips reach back. Arms squeeze. Shoulder blades into the spine. Hands to the floor. Turn it forward into your lizard pose. Left foot a little wider. Left arm stretches open into your twist. Turn the palm and wrap the hand. Open your chest on inhalation. And then place the hand to the earth. Take it right into chaturanga. Breathe at the bottom and hold. Inhale, rise. Downward facing dog. Okay, good. Couple breaths here. I'm going to take this and we're going to change it up just a little bit. Stretch the right leg into the air. One-legged down dog. Exhale, step it forward into lunge. Spin the left heel down for warrior two and come all the way up. Find your warrior two. Wrap your left hand into a half bind, reaching for front waist. Send your right arm forward over the thigh and bring the fingertips to earth or block in a half bound side angle. Lean the chest back, open your heart. Little differently here. Come forward into half moon, so a standing balance right away. Drive back through the left foot. Keep a half bind, turn your chest open. Slide the left hand down to the earth, standing splits. And for this first one, you can either just step back into lunge, then go to plank, or take a hop into plank or hop right into chaturanga. We'll move through our vinyasa and find downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, stretch left leg. Here we go. Step it through to lunge. Spin the right heel. Warrior two. Inhale up. Then open and wrap your right hand behind your back. Reach forward over the thigh. Take the hand down to the inside, block or earth. Spin the chest open. Lengthen through the top of the head as you slide forward, half moon. Drive through the right foot, nice and strong. Right hand down, turn your hips down, turn your heart down, standing split. Plant the hands, step or a hop through plank to chaturanga. Inhale up and exhale to dog pose. Give yourself just a breath. Think thigh bones back, hip bones high. The second round is going to change it up just a little bit, just by a little nuance and some mechanics. Inhale, stretch your right leg. Step the foot through, spin the heel down, and lift up into warrior two. Wrap the hand behind you. Maybe you can grab the front thigh. Reach forward and take the hand to the outside of your right ankle. Press your knee up against the inner right arm. Send the fingertips forward and go into half moon. Turn your ribs open, turn your chest open. Standing split, left hand down. Now you can step or you can hop. You can go right into chaturanga. Move through your connecting vinyasa, downward facing. Final round. Warming up, finding cadence. Left leg lifts. Step it forward, spin the heel. Rise, wrap the right arm. Go to the waist if you can. Left hand to the outside of the ankle. Open the chest, keep it there. Step it forward slowly, half moon. Take your time if you need it. Right hand down to standing split. Again, plant the hands, bend your knees, step or float, chaturanga. Rise, and go to down dog. Nice. Now just take a couple breaths here in downward facing. Start to regulate your breathing patterns. Go beyond just your physical body. Go into the thoughts, go into your gaze. Challenge yourself to think more than just the posture. Go to the tiptoes, look forward, step or hop the feet up to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing, reach the arms overhead, and close, hands to heart center. All right, so we're going to take just one standing balance here, or a series of standing balances here. Stand on your left leg and lift your right knee, just like beginning of class. Squeeze your right heel in. Hold it, calf to thigh as you open your knee. Then take the hand to the ankle and place the foot on the inner thigh for tree. If this is too much, foot goes down to the calf. Don't yank your knee into a position. Go to where you can hold it. Hands to heart center. Press your thigh bone against the bottom of your foot. Stand tall on your left leg. Reach down for the big toe of your right foot. Stand back up and open out to your right side, so not forward. Straight out into Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana Variation B, external rotation of the hip. Left hand reaches and wraps behind the back. Take a half bind. Hold here. Bend the knee. Cross the ankle on top of your left thigh for figure 4. Keep your half bind and reach your right arm forward, as though you were trying to elongate your entire spine by way of your arm. Bring the hand back to the foot and then uncross and release back out of your standing balance. Shake it out. Those of you with plantar fasciitis, I feel your pain. This is one that will challenge the muscles and the fascia on your feet. Lift the left knee and again, meticulously and intentionally hug the heel in. Then open the knee, keep squeezing the heel in. Then use your hand just to place the foot on the thigh. Press your right inner thigh against the foot. And just as though there's a connection between the foot and the thigh, imagine there's that connection between the right and left side of your abdomen. Everything hugging in the center to hold you up. Maintain as you reach and find the big toe. Keep that hip open. Stand up and extend the leg. If straight leg is too much, keep the knee bent. Right arm reaches, and then the right hand is going to wrap behind your back. Walk toward the left hip. Lengthen the outer left hip downward. Draw the right hip bone up. Cross the left ankle, find a figure 4. And then as the hips drop back, send your left arm forward as though your arm were going to pull the abdomen up and forward. Elongate the spine up and forward. Hand to foot. Stand up, uncross, and release. Shake it out. Inhale, stretch the arms above the head. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Now just down dog or connecting vinyasa. We'll all start in down dog together. All right, adding on to some of our work that we've already set up. Inhale, stretch the right leg into the air. Slowly in with control. Place the right foot forward in between your hands to lunge. Take a moment, find your feet. Widen your right foot just a little bit. Lengthen your spine and press up through your left thigh. Rise to crescent pose. Hold here for just a moment. Pull the front hip points up to your low ribs. Draw your low ribs down into the navel. We're going to work as much space as we can here as we find our twist. Bring the hands to heart center. Shift the torso forward. Exhale, elbow to outer right knee. Now, working with a half bind. Hold that connection tight, arm to outer knee. Wrap your right hand behind the back. Stay, or start to deepen by placing the left hand outside of the right ankle. When we do this, we are still keeping a connection between your outer arm and the outside of your knee. Now unwind, hands to the left. Skandasana, side lunge. Coming off of that right hip. Just giving your body a second to adjust. If you want to come a little lower, dropping the hips all the way down, connecting the back of the thigh to the back of the calf. Crawl it on back forward into lunge. Tack your left heel to the floor and lift up to warrior two. Wrap the left hand behind your back, walk to either the low back or the waist. Flip your right palm and reverse. Exhale, reach forward, hand to the outside of your right ankle. Press into the floor. Drive the outer right knee against the inner arm. Spin your ribs open, and rather than trying to yank your shoulder back, just turn open the torso. Turn open the ribs. Hold that. Straighten the right leg, half-bound triangle. Lift the left arm, full triangle. Bend the right knee and slide forward into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Those of you who have a little bit more space here are going to work Chapasana, bending your left knee, reaching that top hand back to catch a hold onto the foot. Okay, but if you can, we're going to work external rotation, grabbing for the inner edge of your foot, so that thumb to your big toe rather than the pinky toe edge. Press your foot into your hand, turn your hip open, turn your chest open. And then release into standing split, hands down. Left leg remains up. Good. And then options here to step back or jump back. Vinyasa or down dog. All right, here we work the left side. Inhale, stretch left leg up into the air. Exhale, step it forward into your lunge. And then inhale, find your crescent pose. Take a second here again as you lengthen up the front of your right hip. Lengthen through the front of the ribs. Let yourself drop into the hip. Hands to heart center. Lean forward and then exhale into your twist. Right elbow to outer knee. And it's okay if you use your hands to help you find that twist. Okay, once you turn and find the connection, wrap your left hand behind the back. Right hand can come down to the floor or to a block. Half bound, reverse crescent. Now again, if you're finding difficulty holding this half bind, please just take the hands to heart center. Unwind, hands to the floor, turn it off to your right and find Skandasana on your right knee sinking into the right hip. So our final Skandasana here. So again, if you want to go just a little bit deeper, dropping the hips. For those of you who have the ankle mobility, this is going to be the hamstrings up against the calf muscle. Go ahead, crawl it forward into your lunge. Spin the right heel down and find warrior two. And once you come up, wrap the right hand behind your back, find half bind. Flip the left palm, and as you inhale, reach back, reverse your warrior. Use all of that space and exhale, go forward into half bound, side angle, hand to the outside of the ankle. The outside makes this just a little bit harder to turn the chest open. Usually we're able to press your arm against the inner knee just to kind of find some space. So you have to work getting into that right shoulder blade to be able to tuck it in and turn your ribs open. Go ahead, straighten the left leg, take half bound triangle pose. You might find a little more freedom in this posture to open your chest. Inhale, right arm goes up to the ceiling. Bend the left knee and find, again, your half moon. You may stay with a straight right leg. You might work Ardha Chandra Chapasana, bending your knee, catching a hold onto the foot. And if you have the green light, you're going to walk your hand around to the inner edge. So think thumb to big toe. You're going to press your foot into your hand, open your shoulder, and open the front of the right hip. That whole line across the top of the quadricep muscle group. Good. Another breath. And exhale the standing split. Both hands down, chest down, right leg up. And one more time, you have the option to step, float, or maybe just work your down dog. Don't break your back just to do another chaturanga. Go with what you need to go with. Still have more work to do. From our downward facing dog, we're going to prepare to open the hips a little more. So please bring the hands a little closer together. So thumbs a little closer together. Space on the side of your hands. Step or hop into yogic squat, malasana. Toes out a little bit wider than your heels. Elbows to the inner knees. Spine lifts and lengthens out through the top of the head you reach. Now some strength here. Feel your heels. Knees away from your arms. Use your glutes like you're trying to rip your mat apart. Inhale to stand. Hands down. All right, here's our second standing balance. It's going to be a little bit deeper. Know that your regression is always tree pose or figure four. This doesn't have to be something, especially for those of you who are dealing with knee pain. If you do have a strap or towel, go for it. Right knee lifts, right heel hugs in. Open the hip, cross your right foot on top of your left thigh up towards the hip crease. If your knee is giving you feedback, let the foot slide down lower on your thigh or go to tree. Those of you who have a strap are going to loop it up around the top of the right foot. Wrap your hand behind you. Now some of you might be able to catch a hold onto your left arm. Some of you might be able to catch a hold onto your big toe. Bend your knee, reach your left hand forward, and lower the hand down. Now, some of you were not able to catch a hold onto your foot at first, but now as you forward fold, you might find that your foot and your hand are real close by. If you're using that towel or strap, just use that. If the hand cannot come down to the earth, go to a block or just go up a little bit higher. Right hand to the hip and you can just take this halfway. Go ahead and unwind, come on up, and release. We're doing this on the opposite side right away. Lift the left knee. And again, you're going to work meticulously hugging the heel in. So before you even open the hip, squeeze the heel in. Then open the knee. Then catch a hold onto the ankle. Again, you can go to tree or figure four or cross it on top of the right hip crease and wrap the strap around the foot. Okay, the left hand wraps behind you. And it may find the foot, or it may find the strap, or it may just find the right arm. Then you bend the knee, let the hips drop back. If your right arm is not holding anything, let the right hand come to the floor or block and fold in. Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana, half bound lotus forward fold. Good. And then gently lift back up, uncross, unwind, and release. No strap needed. Feet go out a little bit wider, toes turn out, arms go overhead. Malasana, yogic squat, sink down for a second. Bakasana, those of you who'd like to play with your crow, here's your opportunity. Plant the hands, lift your hips, draw the knees against the upper arm bone. As your knees go forward, push your arm bones back into your knees. Round your back, float a couple toes or both of your feet. Take a moment or two to explore this. Step or jump back to chaturanga and move through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. So we're going to take sort of a transitional flow. One big posture followed by a couple slower postures. Right leg goes in the air. Right foot comes forward to lunge. Come up to crescent pose. Good. Here's where we have an option in our binding. We're going to go to a twist. Left arm to the outer right knee. Revolved crescent pose. Now you can go to opening floor to ceiling. You can take a half bounding crescent. Those of you with more space in your shoulders are going to take fully bound crescent. Left shoulder has to roll inward toward your cheek, internal rotation. Left hand wiggles underneath the right thigh and you wrap. Unwind. Turn it to your left. Take a wide-legged forward fold in any variation that feels good. Just let your arms relax. Let your spine relax. Stretch your left arm forward like down dog. Thread your right arm underneath. Catch a hold onto your back left ankle. Can also be calf, can also be thigh, could also just be yoga mat. I just want you to take a twist. Unwind. Walk it on back forward. Find your lunge. Lower your left knee down to the earth. We're going to find a twist in our lizard pose. So walk the foot a little wider to the right. Turn the right toes out. Lift your back foot. Reach and catch a hold. So again, a couple options here. Reach for whatever you can reach for. But if you are holding the foot pretty comfortably, walk the hand so it is now on the outer edge. Okay, so when it's a twist, in this case, it'll be the outer edge of the pinky edge. Shoulders opening, chest is opening. And go ahead, release. Plant the hands right into chaturanga. You go. And inhale, stretch the left leg into the air. Step it on through to lunge and rise to crescent pose. So again, one more big posture because we're going to work a half or full bind. Exhale, find a deep twist in your crescent pose. Again, you can just open floor to ceiling. You can take a half bind, left arm wraps around. Or left fingertips are going to walk underneath the left thigh, and you'll find out pretty quickly whether or not the body is going to allow that to happen. If you are walking underneath the left thigh, clasp the hands. Unwind and turn it off to your right, wide-legged straddle, and let just be a counter pose. However it feels good. Stretch the right arm forward like down dog. Thread your left arm over toward your right leg. And just fold in. Take a little twist. Unwind and walk it back forward into your lunge, facing the front. Left foot a little wider. Lower your right knee. Lift the back foot and sweep the left hand back, catching hold onto the pinky toe side of your foot if possible. Press the foot into your hand, open your chest. And just soften here and enjoy a little space. Release, plant the hands, and go to chaturanga again. Breathe it out, find down dog. From down dog, we're going to either step or hop through to seated. Send your legs out long. Some new postures here, starting with Janu-Sirsasana, right foot to the inner left thigh, bend the knee. Fold forward, catch a hold on to either the ankle, the shin, or the foot. And just fold in. So we'll start with sort of some building blocks of perhaps some less common seated hip openers. We won't spend too long in any one particular posture, but rather use them as a vehicle to get to the next. Keep your right foot where it is. Cross it over to your left hip. Bring your left heel in toward the top of that foot. Send your left arm straight up alongside the ear. Fold forward. Wrap the left arm around the outer left knee. And don't stress. If you find a bind, you find a bind. If not, that's fine. Fold forward. This is a variation on Marichyasana variation B. Lift up, unwind. Let's open the left knee to the inner right thigh. Janu-Sirsasana variation A again. Fold forward, hands to floor or shin or ankle or foot. Lift up, bend the right knee, left heel closer to the right inner thigh, right heel closer to the foot, right arm reaches forward, wrap around the thigh, left hand, and you can use a strap here is great. If you are going to use that strap or towel, use it in your left hand and let your left hand swing it around. And if you do have a little space, fold forward. You're going to lean on your left hip just a little bit. Try not to lean too much that you're not able to control still sitting. And go ahead, lift up, unwind, and straighten the legs. Here's where I do recommend having a strap or a towel. Lift the knee, right knee, heel into glute. Open the hip. Cross it onto your left thigh. Now, those of you who can are going to put that foot up into the hip crease. Strap can go onto the foot. Right arm is going to wrap around, and you can stay here. Or right hand gets onto that strap or foot. Left hand goes to the knee. If you are feeling an immense amount of pain, foot on top of that thigh, let your foot slide forward a little bit. If you have the space, turn forward. Fold and catch a hold onto the left foot. This is the seated version of the standing balance we took not that long ago. Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Half bound lotus seated forward fold. Lift on up. Now take the right hand, cross and find the outside of your left foot. Take the left fingertips behind you. If it feels best just to still hold on to that crossed foot, your left hand can still hold on to the foot. It's a variation of Ardha Matsyendrasana, variation B. And go ahead, lift on up. And then control uncrossing and stretching the right leg out. Left knee in, heel squeezes in. Now keep squeezing it in as you cross and open your hip. When we do this so that our rotation comes from the hip joint, not from our knee. Again, the strap can come around the foot. The left hand will do the binding, so turn open to the left to get that hand a little closer to your foot. Right hand can go to the knee, or the right hand can come forward. Those of you pretty deep in this might notice that it feels like your heel is right in your abdomen. Traditionally, as far as I understand it, that was by design with this posture. Bit of abdominal stimulation using parts of the foot, parts of the body to actually press into the organs here. So that's not an uncommon thing to feel or to experience. Go ahead and lift it up. Keep your left foot crossed, but twist. Take your left arm now to the outside of your right foot. And again, now your right hand can either come to the crossed foot or just to the ground behind your back. And then unwind and control and slide your left foot forward. All right, another posture here. Take your right foot by your right side, internal rotation. Bring your left foot to the inner right thigh, external rotation. Those of you who have the space are going to work half lotus, left foot on top of the right hip. If this is pinching your knee, go back, just foot to the inner right thigh. I'm going to use a strap. Jenny's going to show the bind. Left hand wraps behind you, finds strap or foot. Right hand goes to your knee. Turn your ribs to the left. Like the beginning of class, your gaze goes over your right shoulder, not your left shoulder. Look forward, over that right knee. If you do have the space, that right hand can snuggle underneath your left knee, palm down. Unwind. And then just gently uncross. Left foot comes by the left hip, an internal rotation. Right foot comes to the inner left thigh, external rotation. Those who can do half Padmasana, half lotus, you squeeze it in, cross on top. I'm using a strap. Jenny will show the bind. Right hand reaches around for foot or strap. Lean forward, left hand onto knee. So again, if you're feeling discomfort in the knee or in the ankle, slide that foot down. Though you are twisting to the right, turn your gaze over the left shoulder. Bharadvadrasana is the name of this posture. Incorporates external rotation and internal rotation of the hips, as well as a twist. And then slowly unwind, come out of the posture. Did a lot of seated closing up posture, so we're going to open up and work the inner thigh muscles. We're going to turn so we have more space. Go where you have space. Upavishta Konasana. Legs about 90 degrees or maybe a tiny bit wider. Hands can either just kind of come down by your sides just to help your spine stay up, or you can fold forward. Now we're going to take a little side bend here just to open on up. From your forward fold, start to walk it off to your right side. Those of you who are low can stay low. Maybe you'll catch a hold onto the foot. Maybe the left arm will reach up and over and it might catch a hold onto the foot. If you are not connected, foot and hand, just reach the arm over. You're still getting a side bend. If you are connected hand to foot, right hand might reach a hold onto your left thigh and press down, or like you're trying to pull the skin down away from the hip. And release. Stay low. Slide it off to your left side. And again, you might catch a hold onto the foot. Right hand comes up and over. It either holds and lengthens or it holds onto the foot. Turn your spine, and again, if you are connecting, left hand can reach a hold of that top right thigh, press down. Again, like you are drawing the tissue around the front of the right hip, down away from the navel. Unwind, come to center. Just take a fold forward here for just a couple moments. Let symmetry come into the spine and into the legs, into the shoulders. Walk it on back up. Gently draw the knees back up together. Lower down onto your back. This is where I would recommend having a block. A pillow or a bolster, we're just going to work a posture called waterfall. So that prop comes underneath the back of the hips, supported bridge, and then the legs go up toward the ceiling. Even better if you are near a wall and have wall space. Take legs up at the wall. And this is the final posture before we come to Shavasana. We're about 55 minutes into class, so this is where I would welcome you to start that transition into your rest. Those of you who want to stay in waterfall or legs at the wall, that's excellent. Let yourself just enjoy time there. If you are needing any last postures that the body didn't get to take before rest, go ahead and take those now. If you are ready to make your way into Shavasana, you can slide the prop out, prop up in any way that feels good. I always recommend, if you are taking traditional Shavasana on the floor, to place a blanket or bolster underneath the thighs and the knees. Start to spread out, take up some space. Let the body relax out and just enjoy the feeling of completion of your practice. Let it all soak up and settle. Let everything go quiet. The mind, the breath, and the body become still. Stay and enjoy. Our hearts to each of yours. Enjoy your rest. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.